Hello again, YouTube. It's Skylar. Welcome back to my face. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over my breast augmentation surgery and all about that. So before we get into it, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a doctor. This is not medical advice. Please consult your doctor if you have any medical related questions. Not me. I'm just a YouTuber. Also, if you've noticed, the audio quality may have been different. It's not your audio settings. I did finally get a new microphone after 8 years. I felt that it was time to upgrade, so here we are. So let me know down in the comments below if you enjoy the new audio sound or if there's some adjustments that you may want me to do in the future, but this is going to be the new setting going forward. So, all right, let's get into it. So back in May 5th of 2023, I finally got my breast augmentation. And this was after years of deliberation through working with multiple different insurance agencies. I tried to get it covered multiple times, and one after the other, they denied it. I can understand why, but I also disagree. They considered it a cosmetic procedure, which a lot of cisgender women do get this procedure as well, so it's totally understandable. But it is categorized under gender dysphoria, and gender dysphoria was covered under the medical insurance, so I see how they kind of use that as a loophole to get out of paying for it, but at the same time, it really should have been covered. And in a world that made sense, every healthcare would be covered for everybody all the time, but unfortunately, since I live in America, that's not the case, and this is the way that it has to go. So I was really close to actually getting one of them covered through one agency, but they called me a week before the surgery date and had actually told me that they basically changed their mind and they said, no, we're not going to cover it, which was very disheartening. So my only recourse at that point, which is why it took me so long, is that I actually had to quit my job just so that I could liquidate my 401k retirement savings account to withdraw the over $9,000 that I needed to pay up front and finally get the surgery. So that kind of set me back financially about 10 years, but it just really goes to show, like, this is how important these surgeries are for trans people, and, the lengths that, the dysphoria is so bad sometimes that, yes, $9,000 to me was basically nothing at that point because I wanted to get this done. So I'm glad that I did it. It's unfortunate that I wasn't able to get it covered through health insurance or by some other means. But that's just the way that it works. So I finally got it done. The recovery time was actually not as bad as I expected it to be. It wasn't as long as the recovery time for like my orchiectomy. So I was able to walk around. The problem is that I was pretty much bedridden for the first 5 or 6 days because it was too painful to move. Like, walking around was fine, but getting up and down off the couch or the bed, that was very painful. So I almost had to like kind of roll myself to the side and then kind of like scooch down onto the floor and then kind of prop myself up from there. And so I basically spent like a whole week just on my couch and my bed, which I spent the majority of that time playing the Talos Principle. It's a fantastic game. You should go check it out if you're a gamer and you enjoy puzzle games. That's not an endorsement. I'm just a really big fan. So that's what I spent during my time doing the recovery. It's a great game. And as far as like the scars, they went underside the breast when they did the implants. They do that so that when all is said and done, the scars are kind of covered up. And, being that I'm always wearing a shirt anyway, it's not like anybody's going to ever see scars. So that wasn't really that big of a deal. They did go with what they call the gummy bear implants. It's kind of like the consistency of like a gummy bear, so that if something were to, like, say, damage the implant or puncture it, it's not like the saline implants where it's basically a water balloon where it just and then it just deflates and then you only have like one side boob. That's Yeah, I didn't want it. I didn't. The idea of that happening was horrifying, and so I was like, yes, let's do the one that can't do that. Which they told me that I have to get them basically redone every 10 to 15 years. So since it's only been a couple years, I'm not really concerned about that right now. That's, cross that bridge when it gets to there. But overall, I'm extremely happy. And the amount of dysphoria that this removed was incredible. I can wear what I want now. I feel comfortable when I look in the mirror. I have so much more confidence whenever I go anywhere. I feel more confident, and I just feel more, reassured in my femininity and my womanhood. And it's like I've said before, it's difficult to describe what gender dysphoria is like to somebody that's not trans, but I was willing to drop $9,000 just to have this one thing. So that in alone should just tell people that, like, that's how important this is. And it's just amazing because that was one of the things that when I originally started my transition, I had the most dysphoria about, was my chest and, the lack thereof. And so I'm glad that they, which also the surgeon, which I'm glad that she did this, she had actually recommended, because I was going to originally get a C-cup implant, and she actually persuaded me to get a D-cup implant because she said that her patients, the most recurring complaint after the surgery is that the patients wish they had gone larger. And so I was, I'm grateful that she said that because I'm very satisfied with the results, and the surgeon was very wonderful, and she's an amazing person, and I'm glad that she really helped me through that process and, going over all that and just really being respectful. And, I wasn't her only transgender patient either. She had had many, many, many trans patients. So that was very reassuring too. So I'm happy. I'm glad that things worked out the way that they did. Obviously, this isn't the last surgery that I wanted to get. So I'm just going to be in the process of trying to save up for the other 2 or 3 that I want to get. But, time will come for, that and this, that, and the other. And yeah, I've never been happier after this surgery. Like, I've never had a sense of self like I do now. And just the feeling of being more comfortable in my own body and my own skin and being able to look in myself in the mirror. That's something that you can't put a price on. You can't. And honestly, if the surgery had cost $20,000, $30,000, I probably would have dropped that much more too. So, anyway, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video for today. Please remember, if you enjoy my content, to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps keep me motivated to make more videos and post them more often and improve the quality, like getting a new microphone or the new lighting setting that I have. And if you have any suggestions or recommendations for future content that you'd like me to cover, please leave that in a respectful comment down below. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.